Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a build and showcase of Faruzan. Now if you've seen my recent wishing video, you'll know that I've gotten a lot of Faruzans, and I finally got her C6, which means I was finally playing her a lot more since I was getting the full in essence, the full taste of her. So we're going to get right into it. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff really helps me out. And, you know, we're trying to get this channel monetized so I can do more for you in terms of Genshin stuff. So without further ado, here is our ratio right now, 53:05. Now this isn't actually the build that I run on Faruzan. This is the build I would run. I just don't have all of the, like, I had to borrow these artifacts from other characters. Like, the build I run is slightly different because it was a lot easier to make, but this is what I would do given the time. Now that I have her C6, eventually I am gonna reinvest and change her up a bit, but this is the end goal. So we're playing the first great magic, which has high damage, high crit damage. It increases charge attack damage, which you're going to be using, and it even gives you an attack boost if you have like the same element type in the party, which is really neat, great stuff. And then increases movement speed if you have different types, which is like, could be a little handy to get out the way of like dodging attacks and whatnot, because you know, you're gonna be standing there charging attacks, so you're gonna have to run out of the way every now and then. Now we are running two-piece elemental, two-piece golden trope for the skill damage, because her skill damage is it's almost like her main source of DPS. It's what you're like spamming out there. And then the other set we have is two-piece Anemo. It could be Viridescent, or it could be the other one. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, Desert Pavilion. Could be that. It's whatever. It's two-piece Anemo. These aren't too crazy. Like I said, I borrowed these from like other characters just to show this off. Except for this. This is the like original one I had on her. I don't know why I have so much trouble getting Anemo damage bonus. It's like the hardest thing in the world to get. And for our, I don't think I made it clear. This is a DPS build. That's why we're not running like a 4-piece of the emblem. Yeah, emblem of severed fate. Because we're not going for that bunch of energy recharge, spamming her burst, and building up other Anemo DPS. No, we're building up Faruzan DPS. And we have her C6, as you know, fortunately or unfortunately, you know. And C1 is one of the most important ones, probably the second most important one. The most important one is C6, because you get increased crit damage when you use her burst. Increased crit damage for like Anemo damage. So that's definitely the most important one. It's just more damage. C1 is like the second most important, because when you use her skill, when you charge it, charge attack, it has a special little like polygon prism thing, and that like creates a little vacuum when you shoot it, and it charges up her charge attack a lot faster too. And this one, instead of giving you one, this one gives you an additional one. So you get 2 on one skill, and her skill charges like pretty fast, so you can spam them out, switch to another character, set up whatever, and then switch back. And a lot of these are like, yeah, this one increases her burst by 6 seconds. That's pretty important. It's pretty cool. And then obviously you get the skill and the burst, increased levels by 3, which is nice. Is neat. It's always great. And this one gives you, C4 gives you additional energy. So everything's like really good. The most important stuff is C1 and C6, which is like, if C6 is the most important one, you're gonna have everything else regardless. So like, these could all be absolute nonsense, but the fact that C6 is so important doesn't matter anyway. For her talents, we have 8s across the board, and these are 11 because obviously she's C6. And then we'll start with the Ascension talents, because these are a doozy. There's a lot of reading going on. So when Faruzan is in Manifest Gale state, created by Windwell of Nazem Jinin, which is her skill. The amount of time taken to charge a charge shot is decreased by 60%, and she can apply the Wind Secret Ways, Wind's Bale to opponents who are hit by the vortex created by pressurized collapse. So this is what I said earlier. It just charges it up faster, and it gives you a little vortex to like suck them in and do some extra damage. And then when character is affected by the Wind Secret Ways, which is her burst, they'll benefit Anemo damage using normal, charge, plunging, skill, and burst to opponents. So you get additional Anemo damage, and they'll gain the Hurricane Guard, which will increase damage based on 32% of Faruzan's base attack. One instance of Hurricane can be used every so often, yeah, whatever. So yeah, we get a little damage bonus based off of attack, which is great because we have an attack weapon, we have a decent amount of attack, we have attack sands, of course. So we get a nice little additional chunk. Now, what's cool about support characters like this is that they can support themselves. So like if you build them as DPS, then they are their own support, and you can run other characters to support and help them out even more. So it's a really fun playstyle to do. I love building supports as DPS. It's always so fun. And alright, we'll get into the skill. Faruzan deploys a polyhedron that deals AoE Anemo damage to opponents, and also enter Manifest Gale state. And her next fully charged shot will consume a state and create the Hurricane Arrow, and deals Anemo damage, and it sucks them in and whatnot. But it has to be a fully charged shot. So even though it's faster, you still gotta fully charge it. It's also not in an instant. It's just faster. And pressurized collapse. The Hurricane Arrow will apply a pressurized collapse effect to the opponent or character hit, and it'll be removed after a little while, and creates a vortex that deals AoE damage and pulls the nearby enemies into it. It's like a little black hole. Mini Venti, Mini Sucrose, all of that animal stuff, just whoosh, all the enemies up. If the Hurricane Arrow does not hit any opponents or character, you have bad aim. It will create a pressurized collapse effect at its point of impact. So you can also just shoot the ground and just suck them all into like a little circle if they're spread out in like a weird way. And the vortex damage is considered elemental skill. That is why we are running the Golden Troop, because it increases skill damage and not something like 4-piece Wanderer or 2-piece Marchese Hunter or whatever it was for normal and charged attack damage. Because focusing on skill damage, we do have some charge damage because we are using it anyway. That's what makes this bow kind of cool. It gives us like we get the best of everything. And then the stats on it: skill damage, pressurized collapse, and then we have her burst. More reading. Faruzan deploys a dazzling polyhedron that unleashes a whirlwind pulse and deals AoE Anemo damage. While the dazzling polyhedron persists, it will continuously move along a triangular path. Once it reaches each corner of the triangular path, it will unleash one more pulse. It's a little doof doof. The pulse, when it's unleashed, it will apply Perfidus Wind's Bale to nearby opponents, decreasing their Anemo resistance. So we get all these buffs, and then we get these debuffs for the enemy. We get this crit damage bonus. And the last part, the Whirlwind Pulse will also apply Prayerful Wind's benefit to all nearby party members, granting them an additional Anemo damage bonus. So it debuffs them, it buffs us, and then it buffs our crit damage with C6. There's so much going on. And then the Ascension talent gives us an attack boost, or a boost based off of her attack. There's so much going on. There's all these like buffs and debuffs. Really fun character. And the team I'm currently running her with, I was trying to like throw something together and see what I come up with. And you need a shield character. Like, you absolutely need a shield character. Sometimes you gotta sit there and charge, and you hate to get interrupted. It's the absolute worst. I threw in Bennett just because more damage. It's a little the little guy just helps out with it. It's not rocket science while we're running Bennett. And I threw in Yay Miko just because I liked having the like additional like electro damage, because since all the enemies are gonna be grouped up together very often, you can just overload and explode for a bunch of damage, bring them all together, and just constantly go. You could also run Raiden Shogun. I like to switch it up every now and then because it gets a little stale playing her all the time. And Yai Miko's really fun because even though I'm like standing there charging shots sometimes, her skill with the little like fox things that like hit enemies, sometimes they'll stagger the enemies a little bit and they won't like make it to me right away. So that can be very helpful. So for our showcase, we're gonna hit up the boy Masanori. I hate that you have to like talk to him after you beat him, and then like exhausted dialogue after his like little losing thing. Alright, so we're gonna put on Zhongli's shield. We'll put on Yaimiko. We don't have to put on Yaimiko. It's like not really doing much of anything. We're gonna hit Bennett. Hit our burst. Yeah, so as you can see, some solid numbers. We have an extra one to spare. So like some of that was like, you know, like Bennett's burst, doing what it does, and then Zhongli's buff, because we have the tenacity of the Millilith on him, so we get a buff from that. We get a buff from him using his burst. We don't get any buffs from her, I believe. I think she just like buffs herself or something. She's constant. I don't remember crowning her like, ever. But yeah, she does stuff. So yeah, hopefully that didn't go by too fast. I feel like Masanori sometimes. I feel like sometimes he dies down a little too fast, and like maybe I should use someone else as like a testing dummy. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys would like to see more showcase and builds like this, and yeah, comment down below what kind of teams you're running DPS Faruzan, or even if you're running DPS Faruzan. And thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful day, and make sure to check out the next video that pops up on your screen. Take care. One last thing I forgot to mention: if you are struggling with character builds, you're struggling with playing, grinding domains, fighting bosses, fighting weekly bosses, any kind of issue you have in Genshin Impact, you can actually find me on ePal, and I'll have the link in the description, and you can hire me to personally help you and play with you, give you advice, character building, all that good stuff, and even absolutely carry you in domains and boss fights and whatnot. All that can be found in the description below. There's a link to my ePal. You can make an account, sign up, hire me there, and we can play together if that is what you need. So make sure you guys check that out in the link down below. Thank you again.